have to love all the technical difficulties with YouTube, and obviously my internet being wacky as well. So I'm thankful it hasn't been happening often, but even when it does, it's a pain. So thank you for y'all's patience, and I will wait a few minutes for y'all to get back here. Sorry it took me a minute. Had to get everything all set up again. And I'm going to have to remind myself to go through and set it up. A backup stream for when that happens again. And of course, the night I don't do it, it acts up. Hi, DM. How you doing, baby? Did you just get off work? I was wondering about you. I figured you were probably still stuck at work, even though it was Sunday. I can imagine it's probably been a long day for you, huh? I'm happy you're here. I almost didn't stream tonight, but I'd feel bad if I didn't. Yeah, my other stream, because I live in the sticks, it disconnected. And as soon as I saw it come up and saw it spinning and saying disconnecting, it reconnected. And I thought it was fine, but then everybody said it was a black screen. It's like, well, okay. So I guess I had to go through and reset it up. And I'm sorry, y'all. And before I had a backup stream set up, you know, even though it might have been posted for like the following day, I would have that in case, so I can just go in there and then switch a couple things quickly, and it shouldn't take me long. But of course, the night I didn't have that, this happened, so I apologize. Hi, Maureen. I got your donation, beautiful. I'm about to put on my sweater. Yeah, spirits tell me they're ready to work. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. All right, beautiful Maureen. Honey, I saw your message, but I just have a couple of questions, honey. I know you said something about income. Like, are you looking at changing jobs? Is that what you're wanting? You're wanting direction, what to do? Should you leave your job and try a different career path? Like, what exactly are you wanting? Oh, hi, Jedi. Thank you, honey. I appreciate you. Yeah, I have to love it being living in the woods, living in the sticks. Oh, well, I think you're doing just fine, Maureen. So, yeah, I have to love my internet when it just suddenly drops and then it comes back and reconnects just right after it, but it just gave me a black screen, so. And then I was getting worried because when I exit out of it and I try starting the new stream and it shows me my picture before I start the actual stream and it was black still. I'm like, oh no, oh no. And then I exited out of the app completely and then came back in and it went through and it showed me. I was like, oh, thank goodness. I was so worried. I was going to be still dealing with a black screen and wasn't sure what I was going to do, so. Okay, you have a physical job, so you're looking for something that doesn't require as much physical, and you still make a living paying your bills. Hello, Pankasha. Yes, I am a tarot reader. All right, Maureen, let me see. Do have this new deck. I'll pull out a few of them, though. this? My sweets over here. There's one prosperity deck. And then I have this one. No, that's not it. Okay. Let me just see what these pull out for you, girlfriend. I'm going to strictly stick with these oracle cards first. Okay, Spirit. Well, Maureen, you're the first person I'm going to use this brand new deck on, honey. Think you need to put yourself out there, Maureen. You know it's crazy, sweetheart. I just got this deck in last week, and I haven't used it on anyone yet. And this is an indie deck, and the person who created this, when they sent it to me, they actually pulled an oracle card for me and added it in here. And this is just speaking to me for you, girlfriend, for whatever reason. This is what she pulled for me, but I feel like it speaks to you too. And it says tiger and hibiscus, and it's fierce and famous. Stand your ground and put yourself in the spotlight. See that? And it says glowing reputation. Like, I feel like what you're wanting to go after, I feel like you're not supposed to be afraid. I feel like you're a little bit hesitant to go after what you would prefer to do that you know would be better off for you overall. But I feel like you either feel like they won't give you the opportunity, or you don't have the education to do it, or you're just that fear of change and rejection is what I'm picking up. But I want to see what this one starts off with. So Spirit, show me. Maureen, Spirit. Alright, Spirit. Show me. Oh, wow. That's wild, honey. No, I did get it, so thank you, sweetheart. Alright, Spirit. Show me. Present. Nope, don't give me two, Spirit. One at a time. Yep, you're afraid. You're afraid of failure. Why? Hit by Spirit. I think you need to pull some of your energy and your power back, honey. Like Maureen, Spirit showing me you're meant to be a healer. Have you considered doing any type of work when it comes to healing? And it doesn't have to be medical per se, like getting a medical degree. But something, dealing with spirituality, like energy work. Even teaching like meditation or yoga, working with crystals. There's so many different avenues you can go down with using energy work, being a healer, just like a spiritual healer, unless you wanted to go down the road of like being like a counselor per se, even though it says you can, you need a degree, but I know there's something that's in between it that is known as a facilitator, where you don't have to have like a master's degree in psychotherapy. It's more of like the midway course where you can take like I think like a year's worth of courses to help be like that facilitator, to kind of help guide people on the right path, to take, charge of their own life and point them, and direct them, give them the tools to kind of face their fears and such. So I feel like there seems to be something with you, beautiful, where you should be doing some type of healing work. And that, I don't know what type of job you have right now, but, whether that's to be something like a psychotherapist, like facilitator, or to do like energy work. Like I said, teaching yoga, meditation, um, even like there's people who teach how to use singing bowls, which can be very healing because the vibration, the frequency of that can be healing to a lot of people, where some people might have trouble focusing, or they might have trouble sleeping, and sometimes a singing bowl will kind of help change the frequency of the environment and kind of calm the energy down in the environment around them so they can kind of settle down and relax more. Hi, Alejandro. So, but I feel like you got to be careful with how you manage your money. Spirit showing me you can be gotta take control of any impulsive habits you might have, you know, just impulsively spending money that you may have, you may not, you may have in a moment, but then you don't have any savings, that kind of thing. So, let me see here, Spirit, show me. Because Spirit wants you to take control of your debt. That's one thing that's being made clear to me. But they don't want you to be closed-minded to any possibility of doing something else that's outside of anything you've ever thought or considered doing before either. I feel like there's more opportunities out there for you, beautiful, than maybe you realize. And I get such beautiful energy from you, Maureen. I know, sweetheart, I know it's scary sometimes to put yourself out there. You know, I guess it's kind of interesting how I'm fixing to say this, because I said this to people in the opposite way. Like, my daddy, this is funny, okay? It's funny to me the way he put it to me, but understand the way he put it to me was like trying to advise people in romantic love, okay? My daddy, you know, how I say to people is, you know, the answer's always going to be no until you ask or until you try, right? You just might as well already accept the answer's no. Because to you, you've already convinced yourself it's no. Because you didn't take the chance. Put yourself out there. Grab hold of the opportunities presented in front of you to find out, just maybe, you know, if you apply for this job, if you go here, if you relocate, or if you want to go out on a date with this person, that they just might say yes. You know, but because you convince yourself no, it's going to be a no. And that fear of rejection, you don't ever put yourself out there to find out. So my daddy had a funny way of putting this to me. As he likes to come in every now and then and give me some advice to give to y'all. Because he's, you know, on the other side. And he told me to look and to explain it to y'all like trying to apply for a job. Okay, we all know you go out there and you apply for a job, there isn't a guarantee you're going to get the job, right? Because there's possibility there's other candidates who are going to put their application into that are going to be interviewed, okay? So you understand there's a possibility you're not going to get a return call, right? So you know, you've already prepared yourself for that type of rejection, so why would it be different going after love or anything else for that matter? So that's how my daddy put it to me, and it was interesting. I just thought it was really crazy, you know, because like the way he said it, it made perfect sense. Where I understand, you know, and I agree with him. It's like, yeah, I mean, if you're, you know, you're already preparing yourself to be rejected, you know, applying for a new job, why would, you know, taking a chance on, you know, going out with someone that you have a romantic interest in be any different? You know, there's a chance they would say no, but just maybe they say yes. Like, just like the job opportunity, just maybe you're the one they want. You may think that there's other people more qualified than you, but you have something special that everybody else doesn't have. So, you have saved the nest egg. Well, I feel like you need to make sure you hang on to that, girlfriend. Because I feel like there's something that's going to might be coming up unexpectedly that may not be in your plans before saving up. So just be mindful of your spending right now is what I'm being shown. Okay, I'm not saying that to scare you, beautiful. I'm not saying that to be paranoid. Just be mindful of it. You know, maybe, you know, tighten the belt just a little bit. All right, Spirit, show me. Here, Spirit. Yeah, that's true too, beautiful. Unfortunately, inflation, we all are paying for it, that's for sure. So that I do understand too. All right, Spirit. Okay, so if for whatever reason they're showing me like debt management, and I have debt at the bottom of the first deck I pulled out. So like whatever, if there's anything you have out there, like any loans, credit cards, high interest, it's like Spirit wants you to focus on trying to get those paid down first. I would, seek professional advice from a financial expert. But if it was me, I would go through and I would start, if it was, if I had multiple credit cards that I have balances on them and I couldn't pay them off at the end of the month, I would start with the lowest balance you have first, get that knocked out, and then start targeting the bigger ones. At least make the, minimum payment on the higher ones, but you want to get the lower one knocked out first. So that'll free up that extra cash flow from that credit card. Then you can start applying it to the ones with higher balances. No credit cards, no loans. Well, Spirit, you're going to have to clarify this for me then. Savings plan. I just heard this. I didn't even say. I was getting ready to get tongue-tied. How do I say that? I would look at where your savings is. Like, I feel like you're supposed to diversify your savings, because though you may have your debt wiped out right now, they're still showing me there's a plan you need to put in place to kind of like build on it to help secure it. And this is something that they don't want you to be closed off to. They want you to create a bigger savings and to have bigger specific goals set, and to make sure you're staying on top of that so that you can, have this fall back on, especially if for whatever reason, Maureen, let's just say you had to, take time out of work. Maybe this is just to take a semester of some type of, courses to help get you out of where you're at so you can try and go in a different direction. So you're not so having to use your physical body that wears you down. And you would have to really, be tight on the money to make sure you're just making sure your needs are being met and not going out and doing anything extra outside of that. So, because they have closed-minded right here. So it's like they're showing me you're afraid to go this route. I feel like maybe even someone has even suggested to do something else with your savings to kind of make sure that you don't fall into that trap of getting too comfortable right now, and then something down the road happens to where you end up having to go through and touch that savings, and you go through it a lot quicker than you initially anticipated. All right, Spirit, show me the healer. because this is what Spirit's advising you to go after. And I'm going to pull up this other 2 decks too. Spirit, look at this. Show me. Why is this here? Yeah, they want you to look at your long-term planning, professional growth. They're wanting you to focus on healer. This card says, you are able to provide great comfort and support to those who are on a healing journey, whether their pain is physical, emotional, or spiritual. This is their advice to you. This is where they want you to focus on. And I even get professional growth here with it. So this is where they want you to maybe look at changing. If you can't grow in the career you're currently in the job you're in now, and it's, you know, taking a havoc on your physical body, then look somewhere else where that would be like a healer that's not having to use your physical body as much, wearing you out, so you can grow. And that way you can look at a more stable long-term plan, you know, to where you can invest and also see a roadmap to your future. So this is what they're advising you to look at. What speaks to you in this part of a career, in this section? Is there anything that calls to you outside of, you know, I'm not just saying, like I had said before, it doesn't mean you have to go out there. And like I said, you know, in the medical field, I'm not saying go out there and like get a nursing degree or medical assistant or anything like that. I'm looking at it more from either a mental, emotional standpoint, like a psychotherapist, or like what I've also heard being called a facilitator, which is not going and getting a full course degree of an actual counselor, but something that's called a facilitator, or even in spirituality. If you're looking at growing where you can teach or learn how to do yoga, meditation, singing bowls, crystals. There's so many avenues here where you can help a lot of people, especially in the world we're living in today. Even though it's so chaotic, there's a lot more people who are awakening to their spirituality. You know, they're becoming enlightened, or they're going through a spiritual awakening, and so they're needing direction from people like, you know, me and someone possibly like yourself that can help them, because sometimes people just, they don't know what's going on, and they get very confused, and then, you know, they go through this whole spill thing and they're crazy because they're having all these different experiences. But you go to a regular doctor or even a psychotherapist and they all look at you like you're crazy when you know you're not. But it's because they don't practice this part. You know, this is not like in textbook medicine. This is completely different. It has nothing to do with um like being any kind of, you know, textbook. It's more of spiritual. It doesn't even pertain to religion. It's outside of that. You are so not a nurse. Yeah. Well, I wasn't saying to be a nurse, girlfriend. I'm saying like something else. Something like, you know, could you see yourself doing something like what I'm doing? Or like maybe even like looking at astrology. Um, I know a lot of people are always interested in like their birth charts. And some want a more detailed um layout of what their birth chart is, what's coming in for the future. You know, there's different avenues of this. Hi, Karen. So Spirit's saying there's somewhere in this you're supposed to be a healer. Doesn't have to be physical, honey. Doesn't have to, you know, even be like a psychotherapist, but maybe a spiritual healer. Or someone who's a guide to others. Spirit. Why is this here reckless? I feel like you're going to have to step outside of your comfort zone, girlfriend. That's what Spirit's saying. The possibilities of you doing something that you hadn't even considered before. That you has not crossed your mind. This might be something you're going to have to look at. Go outside the box. I feel like for you, Maureen, I feel like it's both what you want to do or what you feel like you can do that is going to provide you with enough resources to provide for yourself. And I believe you said you have a child. And also be fulfilling for you, but also not be something that puts a damper on your body anymore. The other thing I picked up, have you ever thought of being like a personal assistant? Or even, you know, if you're so good with numbers, have you ever thought about like doing like being like a one of those people who does taxes, who prepares people's taxes? I gotta tell you, I have a family friend who does taxes, and I know he's making money because he charges about $250, and that's me. And he says he doesn't charge me his full fee. I get a special discounted because I'm a long-time family friend. But so you're thinking minimum $250 just to do mine. Who else? You know, and I know he has a lot of clients who come to him, and he's busy, you know, those first 3-4 months of the calendar year, and then after that, he's pretty much free. It's more laid back. So think of something along those lines where maybe you could take a short course and learn how to do those types of things. And that way, maybe you only have to bust your butt for a few months out of the year, and then the rest of the time you can do something else that you look at, you want to do that maybe pertains to your hobbies, something else you can do that would make you happy, but you can have like as a side hustle too. Like, you know, some type of arts and crafts, like I said, or maybe it's like doing some type of yoga, even like teaching, for whatever reason, I'm being shown a swimming pool. So like teaching kids how to swim, even possibly like being a lifeguard for some reason. I don't know what that means, but that's what Spirit just showed me. They showed me a swimming pool with a diving board. All right, Spirit, what else? Oh, come on. Yeah, because this will be like, this will give you the flexibility you want, is what Spirit's saying. You may just have to work on your communication skills. If you can focus on your communication skills, it says improve your communication skills, practice active listening, articulate your ideas clearly, and engage in meaningful conversations to build strong professional relationships. This will also help you to have more work flexibility. See work flexibility, negotiate remote work options, flexible hours or part-time roles to achieve a better work-life balance. So there is something here, again, that comes back to this. Something along this line where you can have both, you know, this, if you can learn the effective communication skills that can give you a flexible work schedule that won't be so taxing on your physical body. That will give you the professional growth here that you're looking for too. That can provide that long-term security for your future. Yes, holistic work. Okay, Spirit. What else? Let me see. other advice here? Got this other deck. I'll pull out a few tarot cards real quick. What other avenues she more going to focus on that's not so physically taxing on her body, but can provide a stable income, build her stability and security with? Show me, Spirit. Show me. I just heard acupuncture. Celebration. Wow. You know, I just heard event coordinator. Have you ever considered that? Celebration, like an event coordinator that plans events. You know, it might be more mentally taxing than it is physical, but that's another possibility they're showing me. What else, Spirit? What other avenues? All right. I mean, Spirit's showing me that things will take off for you if you're willing to focus on this. Wherever you put your time and attention and focus, I feel like it's going to take off much sooner than you expected. Spirit's saying this is the time to take action towards that. They just don't want you to rush into this without a clear plan, clear direction. Make sure you're sure about what it is you want to do. Another one is real estate. Have you considered real estate? Right here. But I feel like more than anything, Maureen, what at the end of the day makes you feel this way? Fulfills your life purpose? Because that's what they're showing me. What do you feel like your life purpose is? What do you feel like fulfills you, makes you happy? That you feel like your soul is at ease, at peace, that you are, you know, answering your calling. That's where they want you to also focus on, because they want to remind you, you know, that you got options, beautiful. You're not limited. And I feel like, you know, right now I can understand you're a little hesitant. I can understand you're a little scared. But they don't want you to be closed off to the possibilities. Because right now they're showing me you're hesitant. You're afraid of failure. You know, so you're a little bit closed off, or, you know, still a little unsure. So real estate, event planner, healer. You know, so I would focus on those areas. And like I said, even like someone who does tax preparations would be another avenue. You know, pretty much all those avenues wouldn't put so much physical, you know, it wouldn't be so physically draining and taxing on you. Yeah, you know, mentally it can be, but the actual physical part of it, not so much. I feel like you can do whatever it is you put your heart into, honey. What else? Give me one more, Spirit. And then I'm going to pull a couple prosperity cards from my new deck real quick. Okay, Spirit, thank you. You're trying to give me like a whole bunch. Beginnings. Yeah, they want you to embrace the possibility of something new, something you haven't done yet, because they want you to go in this with an open mind to explore your options, explore the possibilities, embrace the new possibilities. Don't, don't, I'm not saying they're slacking, but they don't want you to like take your foot off the gas. They want you to go at this with a lot of ambition, with a lot of drive, and to see it through instead of just kind of gradually gliding into it. They're not saying rush into it, but they're not saying, don't, slack off on it either. Yeah, beautiful. Just keep an open mind. I know that gets hard, honey. I get that. Do you know how long Spirit took me to drag my feet into doing this? That took some years to get me to see things their way. Alright, Spirit. I'm going to get a couple of these prosperity messages. See what comes out. And a couple angel cards. So, I hope this is helping you, beautiful. I think I got one more card. Yeah, let's see. Alright, Spirit. Yeah, Spirit showing me you keep going back and forth. Like you said, it's confirming what you just said. Like you keep having so many things thrown at you at once. What else, Spirit? Yeah, Spirit saying just make the most of your resources and take a chance. They're saying that the odds are stacked in your favor. So go for it now instead of waiting. That's why they're saying do not take your foot off the gas pedal. You want to keep going at this, And it's like I tell people all the time, beautiful. It's like you don't just do something for a little while. And if it doesn't work out, you stop. You keep doing it until you succeed, until you reach the finish line. However long that takes. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand some people can be so stubborn and not want to see the reality of something, and they still keep going after something that maybe they shouldn't. That's not what I'm talking about. I feel like Spirit's saying that this is time for you to really put your eye on the prize. What you feel like you can do, what you feel like you will be good at, that will fulfill you, to go ahead and go after it. Even if others might have failed, that I don't feel like you will. That you would have the drive. And you would invest and dedicate your time into seeing it through. Oh, I'm so happy, honey. Alright, Spirit. Last full. Let's see this. Spirit, what else do you want to share with Maureen? Please. Thank you. Yeah, here it is. They're showing me. Even if you don't have all of the knowledge, the wisdom, all the experience, the education per se, to go after what it is you want, don't let it hold you back. This is you being determined and keep going, and going at it with, a good rate of speed to cross that finish line and see it through, because you still have this logic and rationale on your side too, where you have more than enough of that's going to help balance your passion out to keep you um, level-headed and still have enough drive that recharges you or energizes you to keep going, even when things might feel like they're falling apart, they're not going exactly right, but you have faith that with your determination and with divine's help that you will get there. And I feel like you will get there because Spirit's showing me things will get better. Six of Swords. Six of Swords is all about coming out of choppy waters, which is coming out of like difficulty and going into calmer waters where things are going to be more peaceful, more relaxed. So if you stay determined and dedicated, you will have this. And also, you will have great help, I feel. You're going to have other people there helping you. There's going to be someone who's going to want to help you. And it's going to be an equal give and take where, you might, arrive at someone's business and they have an opening, which is the perfect job opportunity for you, and they're willing to invest in you and maybe even train you to take you on, and you're willing to, you know give them, everything you got, put your heart and soul into it, to making this job, work, making it successful, and to prove that you earn, the wage they're willing to pay you, as an example. So I feel like someone's going to come in and help you. You just got to keep your mind open to those opportunities that we may sometimes miss. And what I can tell you, beautiful, is look to your angels. They will tell you, they will guide you. Your spirit guides, they will tell you if, you're doing something or going down the wrong road. They'll try and steer you back right. You just got to pay attention and be willing to have an open mind to listen when they're sending messages to you. And sometimes those messages may not be as clear to you. What I mean is, it may not be like on a big, sign in front of you, but it could be something as simple as hearing something on TV, like a advertisement, a commercial, or hearing someone speak and it just speaks to you. Or maybe you hear it on the radio. Or maybe you overhear it just walking by, a couple of people having a conversation and someone says something and it just resonates with you. Like you feel like, that message was meant for you. Those are the things you got to pay attention and listen to, especially if your intuition is really saying, trust this. Yes, this message was here for you. Because that's how they will come through to us sometimes. It's not going to be like them literally in our head or in our ears, but it's going to be them using another person who's going to cross our paths to give us that message. So, I'm going to get you one angel card, beautiful, to close your reading out. Spirit, can I get an angel message, please, from Maureen? There it is right there. Take a risk. Your angels want you to take a risk. Overcome the fear of taking a risk, and your bravery will be met with a reward. Let your intuition guide the way. So they want you to take a risk. Take a risk on something you've considered that excites you, that might even be challenging to you, and yeah, it might be intimidating a little bit, but they want you to take the risk. Take a risk on yourself by believing in yourself. Believing you can, and you will. You will be successful if you're willing to open up to it and receive it. Because I feel like there will be happier times ahead. There'll be more things to celebrate. And that's what I have for you, Maureen. Beautiful. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I hope, it's answered, your questions you had pertaining to your career path and where you're wanting to go and the changes you want to make to get there. And I hope this provides you with that clarity you needed right now, today, and also with the path of where to go from here, beautiful. And I wish you nothing but the best, honey. I'm over here cheering you on. I have a great sense of excitement for you because I really feel like you're going to open that door to that excitement that maybe you didn't consider before. That I feel like that light bulb's going to suddenly go off and it's going to say, yes, this is what you're supposed to be doing, you know. And I want to say to you, thank you so very much for your donation, and thank you deeply for trusting me to read for you today. It's been an honor, honey. Thank you again. I believe in you, Maureen. I know you're ready for that change, and I feel it in you, too. I know you can do it, honey. Just be in the mentality that it's already yours. Like, it's already happened. It's part of that manifestation. It's like when you think about your abundance, sometimes the universe has a beautiful way of blessing us when we show them that we're thankful and appreciative for what we do have, even if it's not necessarily, covering all of our needs, and wants. If it's at least covering our basic needs, we can show gratitude that we're grateful for the little things, the simplest things. And that's when the universe has the most beautiful ways of unexpectedly coming in and blessing us out of nowhere with something bigger by rewarding us. So don't lose hope in that. Don't lose sight of that. Don't feel like, don't ever be in that mentality of lack or be in those self-limiting beliefs like you can't achieve it. Believe you can. Say, instead of telling yourself you can't, say I can. I will. And here I am. I'm coming. You're ready. And just say that to yourself every day, honey. And I know it'll come to be. Like I said, I get it can be a little scary. I understand it can be a little intimidating. I being out here, let me tell you, never, ever, ever thought I'd be out here on the internet like this. Never, it never crossed my mind. My spirit guys had to do a lot to get my attention, to get me to see it. And when I finally looked at it, I told them they were crazy. But here I am. And I never, ever would have expected or even thought that this would ever be possible. But, even as intimidating as it was to me right at the beginning, I didn't run from it. I faced it head on. I was going to trust my spirit team. I was going to trust the divine that they were taking me down the right road where I was meant to be. And everyone I've come across who, is psychic like me, who reads tarot and such, every single one of them have told me, I'm answering my purpose. I'm answering my calling. I'm doing exactly what I was meant to do. So that gives me a lot of hope, and it makes me feel good that I know I, took, a leap of faith by trusting them. And here I am. And I find a lot of fulfillment in doing what I do. It's not that I wasn't fulfilled before, but I was fulfilled in a much different way. But this really fulfills me. It fulfills my heart and my soul. Because I'm doing something that I'm good at, that I know, not sounding arrogant or cocky, but I understand that I had an ability to do, um, and that I'm able to do it and help people. So that really, fulfills me. So I'm very lucky and blessed to be able to do something that I do fully enjoy and love doing. Oh, well, thank you. You are so welcome, Maureen. Anytime, honey. Thank you again. I greatly appreciate you and your trust in me. Hi, Tom. Okay, put these cards up. Let's see. All right. Eric, are you here, baby? How you doing, America? Oh, I'm doing good, Karen. Thank you for asking, sweetheart. How about you? How are you feeling? Does it feel good to be home? Oh, that's awesome to hear, America. I'm glad to hear that, honey. So things are starting to feel better for you. I know you were heartbroken, honey. Good. Oh, I'm happy you're home, honey. I mean, there's no place like home, right? Especially when you're not feeling good. You can't really, relax in the hospital. I do know that. No. Yeah, well, I wasn't here the last couple nights, honey, so I took the weekend off since I had worked through the week. And it's been kind of slow lately, so I decided, since I've been working every weekend since I started my channel, that it was time to give myself a weekend off. So I took it off. So I'm glad to see you, honey. And I do miss you when you're not here. Man, I got hot real quick. Hot and cold, hot and cold. Yeah, I know, honey. And I need to do it more. You would think I'd go out there and do something wild, like party or something. I slept all weekend. That's what I did. I was so drained. It always blows my mind just how quickly I get drained from being on here, because I don't feel it while I'm here. And I don't always completely feel it even when I'm done streaming for the night. But after that 5th day, yeah, I've been feeling it more and more. And it's like I'm out for the count. Exactly, Maureen. They do. It's like what? Like every hour or two they're coming in there, they're checking what your blood pressure, if you're diabetic, they have to check your blood sugar every few hours. Oh, and then it's, give you your meds, however often you're supposed to take them, and what else? I've been in a hospital enough to know, not per se me as the patient, but others, and it's like, oh, it's exhausting. We should go shoot some balls. Oh yeah, I'd love to shoot some pool. I need to get back out there. That's the whole goal of me starting to take weekends off now, but I gotta be honest, if I do that, I'm probably gonna take a 3rd day off during the week. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. It's like, Does that mean I take Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off? At least for the next month or two. Because the weekends is when the tournaments go on, and those tournaments start Friday night and they don't end until Sunday night, depending on how far you get in the tournament. Normally, you have to get beat twice before you're out. So, not saying I'm gonna go in there right away and be kicking anyone's behind. I seriously doubt that. My shoulder just let me know it's still weak, but at least to get my arm back into the swing of things again. But yeah, I would love to shoot some pool, honey. You're one of those pesty nurses, is that right? Oh, I'm sure you're the best nurse anyone could ask for, honey. You know, when people are really sick, I understand y'all have to go in there like every hour or two. I get it. I really do. It's just, it's not meant to be comfortable for the people who are visiting. And I know even for the patient, they're just like, oh, go away. But I know I'm appreciative to all the nurses, even the times that I have been in the hospital for whatever reasons, whether I was the patient or not. Oh, yes, Maureen. I love to shoot pool. Um, I shoot pool semi-professionally. Darts, I've never gotten into darts. I don't know why. I've never really tried it, but the times that I've watched people play it, it's just, I don't know. It doesn't excite me the way pool does or bowling. And maybe that's why. Like, I wouldn't mind, learning how to play it just to learn and know how to play it. Um, I had someone make me a nice set of darts too. In fact, I saw them right when I was packing before I moved into this house, when I had sold my old house. And they have roses on them. But I've never used them. So maybe it's time that I learn how to use them. Yeah, Karen, that I understand. Especially, if they're in critical condition. That I understand. Or if they're, have some other serious health condition. And so, yeah, I own my own pool cues. Um, I have played with some of the best in the world, some of the pros, top of their tier. I got their autographs on one of my pool cues. And I also have, where is my pool cue? It's probably in the corner. I also have a couple of pool cue balls. Excuse me. Um, that had them signed too. So one of the top female players, well, actually two of them. One is from the UK, Alison Fisher. She's one of the ones. I have her autograph. I've met her, and I got to play with her. Another one is Jeanette Lee, and then the rest of them are the guys. Like um, one of the best players in 9 ball is Johnny Archer, and one of the newer younger ones that was coming up when I had took a break from it. So we're talking about a decade or so ago. Is Shane Van Boning, and he's very good. Um, there is like Corey Dole, um, Thomas Thorsten, Ralph Eckert. Who else do I have on my pull queue? I'm missing a couple other ones. I'd have to pull it out. Oh, yeah. Maureen, I had rotator cuff surgery a little over a year ago, so I get it. I actually had to give up pulling bowling to get my shoulder fixed because I couldn't play because I tore it too badly. And it wasn't really anything I did. I mean, yeah, I did do it bowling, but it was only because I had a bone spur in my shoulder. So every single time I'd move my, arm a certain way, it kept slicing into the tissue. And it got so bad that it wouldn't happen with all my range of motion, but like I remember specifically like think of like tossing something. So you think of like throwing a frisbee or like stirring a pot of, soup or some type of sauce. I couldn't do it. I'd have to sit there and I'd have to hold my arm like this in place and then do it this way. Otherwise, I couldn't just freely move my arm. It hurt, and I would get that sharp shooting pain down my arm, and it would start to get numb. So I knew it was time. So, oh no, Karen, that's terrible, honey. Yikes! What was it in the medicine that you're allergic to? I hate to hear that. I'm praying for you still, Karen. That's terrible. Is that why you were in the hospital for so long? All right, America. God bless you too, honey. And how you doing, Alejandro? And Alejandro, I should have some other new decks in the mail next couple of days, I think. I think. Keyword should. Wow. I hate to hear that, Karen. Well, has the blood clot dissolved to where it's not going to be an issue anymore? I know it takes some time for the medicine to work because I actually did get a blood clot one time myself, but mine was from a PIC line. Um, and so they had to put me on a blood thinner for like a month, I think, roughly, maybe a little bit longer. Can't remember. I want to say it was about a month, but it could have been a little bit longer to dissolve it. I mean, I didn't need to be put in the hospital, but still. And this was back when I was fighting chronic sinusitis. Yeah, Alejandro, that's the only thing I think it was, baby. Um, they have put it. Yeah, it was on this side. Because I remember them saying they couldn't put it over here because of the heart. So they had to put it on my right side. And so yeah, I got a blood clot from it. Um I don't even remember how I came to find out that I had a blood clot. Unless maybe I started having pain from something. It's the only thing I can think of, but I can't recall. But I know that was like a time when I was going through serious chronic sinusitis. Like, couldn't keep my eyes open. I couldn't listen to sound because both the lights and the sound would put me in a tailspin because I ended up with a pounding migraine every time. So I stayed in bed and they kept putting me on different rounds of antibiotics, trying to kill the sinus infection, but it wouldn't get rid of it. The only thing that would help me at the end is I had to go in and have sinus surgery. So apparently my sinuses were that clogged up. They had to, suction all the sinus pockets out and such. Oh, is that what happened? So that's something that's fairly common. Hmm. I hate to hear that, Karen. Yeah, because I had the PIC line and they gave me the antibiotics through the PIC line, but I was able to give them to myself at home. I didn't have to be in the hospital, thank God, but um, I had the whole setup of how to do it, and the syringes and all that. See, Alejandro, I could have sworn I used both. Yeah, because I had a saline bag. I had to connect. And then the heparin was through that. So, oh, I've been through some stuff. Yeah, I have. But I came out of it. I told you I'm a fighter. So, I wasn't going to allow that to get me down either. Even when I was going through all the sinus problems with the migraines, man, I remember sometimes those migraines were so bad. Like, you just wanted someone to, like the saying goes, like, just take your head off so it'd stop hurting. I had those days. In fact, I remember the migraine medicine they gave me. It wouldn't work. Like, I would have to take it like twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, which was pretty bad. But of course, what I didn't know then is I also had a deviated septum, so I think that contributed to it, besides my sinus pockets being clogged. And I also still had my tonsils, so I went through all of that. Okay, Karen. Yes, honey, I'll be back tonight. I'll be back, as in Monday night, same time, honey. Well, thank you for dropping and saying hi to me. I appreciate you very much. Oh, I will. Sweet dreams to you, Karen. See you tomorrow, honey. I'll be praying for you. Hey there, beautiful. How you doing, Sage? Excuse me. Ooh, that was a bright spirit orb. Hi, beautiful spirit. So, did you have a good weekend, Alejandro? How you doing, Sage? Did you have a good weekend, honey? Oh, I'm sorry not sleeping how you wanted. No, I'm gravy. You know me, if I'm here, I'm gravy. I got biscuits and sausage gravy. I'm gravy. But I hate to hear you're not sleeping well, honey. Man, I slept all weekend. That's all I could pretty much do. It's crazy. Oh yeah, Alejandro. I know that feeling, baby. That's what I did Friday. Like, I slept through most of the day. And I still felt so drained. So, um, I think I did go to bed early. I fell asleep unintentionally. And then when I woke up Saturday afternoon, I felt a little bit better, but I still didn't feel like I had all my energy back just yet. So I ended up falling back asleep early. And then when I woke up Sunday, I felt a lot better. I felt fully recharged finally. Hi, Buttercup. How you doing, honey? Could be. I mean, but that's what happens to me. It seems like every time I take my days off, I'm down. Especially the very first day, I'm out normally like a zombie. The second day, I can wake up and, be up for a few hours, but then if I even sit, even if I try to sit, um, lay in bed sitting up, I still end up finding myself, I fall asleep, even sitting up. Not trying to, I just do. So, I know I'm still really tired then, and then if I allow myself to sleep, then I feel better by the day I gotta come back to work. Oh, sweet Sage. That'll be awesome, honey. You fell asleep sitting up tonight? Well, at least I know I'm not the only one who does it. Because I did it. And I'm not trying to do it, I just do. Like, I'll be sitting up in bed. Could be just listening to something in the background. I could even be watching something on my laptop. And before long, I'm out again. So, but I got some good sleep. I know I needed it, so. Yep. That's what happened to me. That's how it happened. One minute I'm awake, next minute I'm out. My eyes closed unexpectedly. So, if I'm not up physically moving about, yeah, you can guarantee I'm probably end up back asleep. And I did. But then sometimes being outside in that heat, as I know you know, Sage, being out there in that heat, it's draining by itself. You don't have to be doing anything. Just sit out in the heat. Yep. My body says it's done. Oh, it is, Buttercup. I definitely could have used a little bit more of it, but I'm good. Even though I've been yawning now, but you melted today. That humidity is no joke, I'm telling you. Man. Instead of it being like 90 degrees, it feels like it's over 100. So I melt out there in the sun too. I get it. Or I could be in the shade. Like sit out in my garage and even being underneath the shade. Just the heat, the humidity. Being out there and sweating. And yep, it drains me pretty quickly. So your car said 99 degrees. That does not surprise me at all. So you know it was well over 100. At least it felt that way. We're in July. We haven't even gotten to the hottest month just yet. Whew. Wait till next month. Gosh, I'm hoping it'll be cooler. And then, you know, it's like everybody says, yeah, y'all complain it's hot right now, but wait, just wait. Wait till winter comes, then you're gonna be wishing it was warm. And it's like, yep, that's the way it always works. So, yeah, and that's what I did. So, I reckon sometime today I'll, you know, get a nap after I do a couple things. After I get done with live streaming. Before I shut my eyes for a little while. Yeah, I probably should. Yeah, it's been about 6.5 hours I've been on here. If I don't have any paid readings, then yeah, I probably should just to conserve some of my energy. So I could be wide-eyed and bushy-tailed tonight. I hope it's cooler too, but you know how August is. It's, it's more September that you need, you know, that coolness for fall to hurry up and kick in. Yeah, Maureen, I think so, sweetheart. I enjoy being out here with y'all and hanging out, chatting. I do deeply appreciate you, Maureen, and your donation. You get too excited too early. I understand. I think we all start getting excited in August. For those of us who get tired of the heat. But hey, I don't mind the winter as long as I don't get no snow and ice. We're good. Oh, thank you, Sage. Now, if they want to bring me ice and snow, oh, y'all can keep that. That's for the birds. I don't want either of that. You already know how people are around here. People can't drive in Georgia. Be slipping and sliding all over them roads. I mean, that makes me think of what happened last year with my brother. Was it last year? No, it was this year. It was beginning of January. Remember when we got that snowstorm, and I know it knocked my heat out for a while, my electric. And then especially out here where my brother lives, because I was at his house and I was supposed to go home that day. Nope. During while we went and stopped by at a restaurant to eat, they said we weren't supposed to get snow, no snow. Oh, but we got plenty of snow. All I can say was a good thing I was with my brother in his car, because if it had been my car, yep, I wasn't going nowhere. So, people sliding all over the roads. Even the people who were driving pickup trucks saw them sliding. It's like, what? So, oh yeah, Buttercup. I can imagine, honey. It gets just as bad because it can freeze all that up there in the air too. Oh, you're so welcome, Maureen. And you rest well too, sweetheart. Thank you. So yeah, having that snow and ice, yeah, that's for the birds. I don't want it. I'm a mermaid. My fins ain't supposed to be frozen, that's all I know. Trying to turn me into Miss Frosty the Snowman. Right, exactly, Buttercup. Even the birds migrate. At least they're smart. Yep, for sure. Well, my beautiful people. Yep, that's right, that mermaid power. Gotta have it. Gotta make sure my fins is still moving. Well, thank y'all so much for being here with me tonight. Thank you all for everyone who came out to like and who has subscribed, and those who have been here with me for a long time. But then, thank you to all you new people who've come. Welcome, beautiful souls. Thank you, everyone who's donated, and those who have left me comments, those who have sent me care packages. I can't thank y'all enough. Y'all make me really feel very special and blessed. So thank you so much for sharing your time and energy and space with me. I want to wish y'all a wonderful and beautiful day or evening, depending on what part of the world you're in. As it's 4:30 in the morning for me, Monday morning right now. So I think I'm going to go get some shut-eye, and I'll be back here tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern. I hope to see y'all back here then. Until then, take care, beautiful people. Good night.